Hello everybody and welcome to my ultimate money making tutorial on Air Tycoon Online. This is a tutorial for people who do not spend credits and want to pretty much make as much money as they can possibly do in this game. So pretty much there are three important things about making money, and that's picking your route, pricing the route, and airplane usage. So we'll talk about the most easy one first, is airplanes. While while this 1 minute and 20 seconds until my planes arrive passes, I'm going to talk about how you pick your airplanes for the route. So, first of all, you want to max out the amount of leased aircraft you have at all time. Pretty much the reason is leased aircraft, they don't cost very much, yet they can still make as much profit as any other aircraft, which means, especially near the start, if you always lease as many airplanes as it'll possibly allow you, and always lease the most expensive airplane that there is available, while buying the cheaper aircraft, this way you can pay very little, yet end up with many airplanes, and that will help you pretty much expand quickly. And the best way to do this is to buy 6 Tupolev 104s right off the start and minimize the seating actually and find really good routes. This is an example of one. Amsterdam to Zurich, Tupolev 104, making 2.4 million. I can probably find another few around here. Napoli, I'm sure I have some from there. I had Napoli to London, but I actually had to delete that route to make space because the airport's been full for a while. But Napoli to Paris, 2.5 thousand, and very profitable for such a cheap aircraft. If you think about that, for every 10,000 you're paying for the TU-104, you're making almost like 900,000 or 900k. So I think that's pretty ridiculously profitable. So the next part about picking your aircrafts is the size. Pretty much there are a bunch of good aircraft in this game, and I'll point them out right here. The DCA-62, that's an amazing plane. The 707 is really good for leasing, especially around the beginning. The Tupolev 104 is amazing at the beginning because it's cheap and carries many people. Here's something that you shouldn't get. The Illusion 18D, and the main reason is if you look down at the speed, this thing crawls so slowly and carries so few people that it's not very profitable and quite costly, although you can make range routes with it. So, pretty much, if you just keep making real Tupolev routes at the beginning, because, you know, Tupolevs are cheap and all that. So if you keep making Tupolev routes, you'll eventually find that pretty much your company will start growing rapidly, and eventually you'll be making like enough to start buying long-range planes every turn, and it's about at that time where the DC-850 or 62 comes out, and this opens up voids of new possibilities. But moving on to the next point is picking routes. So the number one point about picking routes is never ever open a competition route. Even at the beginning of the game, you might want to delete all the routes that pick up competition eventually. Because if you open a competition route, no matter what two cities they're between, they probably can't make as much as another route, say Shanghai to Milano, this is a really good example, which can make a really big crap ton of money. Whoa, co-chair. Okay, so you probably know, you definitely don't want to make any competition routes. Next thing is looking at most cities where people won't think of making routes. After about the first year maybe of a higher range plane coming out, most of the routes between the bigger cities of the world probably will be taken. For example, when the DC-862 comes out, that plane pretty much upgrades the max range of the era by about 2,000, so that opens up a lot of new routes. But a few years after, everything like LA to Amsterdam, or say Denver to Turkey and or Istanbul. So pretty much most of the really good routes will be taken. So instead, you can have to be more creative and look for smaller cities, but still decent. And a few good examples are in this triangle over here and down in Italy. So as you can see, here's Milano, which usually is pretty big, but it was ridiculously small in here. So I actually managed to get a lot of good routes from there. But there's Zurich. Not many people know about Zurich, and it rolls in the money, man. I wish I could make this route. I probably should with a DC 1030, but Zurich to cities like Kuala Lumpur, they make lots of money. So if you can keep your eyes out for smaller cities connected to the biggest cities in the world, that's just as profitable as big cities to big cities, except you won't pick up competition very easily. And if you look around carefully in the world, you'll actually find a surprisingly plentiful amount of routes from cities around 400 to cities around 800, which if you add up the numbers is almost 1,200. And pretty much, if the numbers on any route add up to 1,200, you can charge on a small-ish plane, and when I mean smallish, I mean seats about 120 people in a regular layout. This kind of route is completely worth taking because they'll profit about 3 million, which is really good for the plane's price usually. And there are plentiful numbers of them. So I just made a new one because I just saw Warsaw to Kuala Lumpur. I call it Kuala Lumpur. I don't know why. But that's pretty much how you pick routes. Just add up the numbers, and everything over 1,020 or 1,200. If the numbers add up, you can charge above with a 1.5 times number. These numbers, if they say 1.5, that's pretty much how much you charge for 1,200. And for every 100 over that, you can go up by maybe 0.10, pretty much. So let's see if I can find some more routes on camera, just to make this kind of give you ideas of how to search for routes. So I want to take these cities, but I've already pretty much checked them over, but I haven't checked Birmingham for a while, which is around 400. So can that connect to here? Is it too far? It's too far. Let's see. Qingdao. That's about 400. 400 to 700. That's not too great. If you take 1,100 routes, that's fine, but they probably won't fill as nicely as your kind of 1,200 routes. But kind of everything approaching 1,000 and lower starts to get pretty weak in terms of money making. I'm actually having some decent trouble here, but let's just click Warsaw again because I'm pretty sure I saw some more from there. So sorry I couldn't find a second city to help you guys with, but I'm just going to take Warsaw to Singapore because nobody took that and I need to take it. But so the last thing I wanted to talk about was pricing, and that was kind of integrated with picking routes, and that happened by accident. So literally there isn't much else to it. You can delete your competition routes at the beginning. I already mentioned that, but I'll reiterate that because it's pretty important. And the main thing is just be creative. Look around for all the routes you can possibly find before making one. So you'll hopefully find the best routes possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you just look around, you can kind of see where some of my good cities are, where you can find good routes from. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends because it'll help your guys' companies grow. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.